Hey, Rob here. I want to talk to you about something that I consider to be really important, and it's got to do with goal setting and an aspect of goal setting. Something that I discovered a couple decades after I learned and I've used goal setting in my life very, very successfully so, and it's something I really believe in. But back around 22 years ago, I joined a group coaching thing run by Raymond Aaron out of Toronto. And it was a couple $100 a month, and I had to drive to this in-person meeting with a group of others, and it was run by Raymond. And it was all goal setting based. Now, I've done a lot of coaching like that with others, and they're all the same in the sense that they all use goals as the basis with which they're going to help you. And I was really kind of surprised each time I discovered it. I was pleasantly surprised because I thought, man, that's good, because there is no other system. There are no other secrets. There are no other techniques or strategies that are, secret Tibetan monk knowledge, Sanskrit, written in a foreign language sort of ideas. And, we want to look for those magic techniques, but there are none. It's all goal setting, really. Anyways, in my life, I've used goal setting, and I've been eager to always pay and sign up for one-on-one coaching, which I've done, executive coaching, and then the Raymond Aaron group, which was a 18-month commitment. I used to drive 3.5 hours, go to this meeting, sit down at 3 hours, and then drive back home, get home around 3 in the morning. And every time I've done something like that, every time I've set down goals, for the most part, to some degree or other, they've all come true. So, it's something I really believe in, and I highly encourage you to do the same thing. But what happened when I joined the Raymond Aaron group, he had 6 categories with which one was to do their goals. And that's what I want to talk about today. I want to talk about one of those categories. So he had like a wealth goal, a personal goal, a health goal, a learning new things goal and whatnot. But the one that really caught my attention was clean your messes. I thought that was genius. And Raymond would explain that there are messes in your life. And he often used the example of your car, your closet, even your set of keys. You've got, sometimes we have these big, massive keychains with all these keys, and like half the time we don't even know what they are, what they're for, or they're keys that we would never normally use maybe once a year. If you have keys on your keychain set and one of them is a safety deposit box, he's like, clean all that stuff out. And I thought that was pure genius. I thought that was really smart, and it's not something I never thought of before. But the idea is something that I really ran with. Now, for years and years and years in my city, I taught a similar goal-setting group through the local library. Once a month, we would meet and do a 2-hour meeting, roughly based on the same idea, goal setting. And I introduced to that group the idea of clean your messes. So I've broken it down even further, and I'm going to talk to you about that right now. So starting with the first idea is that you got your physical messes. So look at your house, look at your car, look at your garage, look at your workplace, look at your closets, the trunk of your car, your basement, all your storage. Is there stuff that's cluttered? Have you ever heard of Marie Kondo? She's the lady from Japan who uses this strategy. Literally, it's on a spiritual level. It's so freaking amazing. I highly recommend you check out her stuff. And it applies similarly to what I'm talking about, cleaning your messes. When you clean your messes, you're cleaning away the path to success. And this applies not only to the physical, so start with the physical though, and look at anywhere where you work and or live and or drive, and look at all these things and clean them up. Is there clutter? Is there unnecessary stuff in there that is cluttering your life? So, we tend to hang on to stuff, and I think the extreme version of this, which is taken to a whole new neurotic level, is when you have somebody who collects stuff. What do you call that again? When people collect stuff and their homes get filled with boxes and boxes of junk. it literally becomes a psychological disorder. You know what I mean? They had a show on it, a reality TV show based on it. I think they might still. I don't know. Hoarders. It's called hoarding. It's literally a disease, a mental disease. So, but anyway, so when you get rid of all the physical clutter, you're opening the way. Now, there's other areas too, and that's what I want to get into right now. There's the mental. If you have something holding you back, maybe you have an addiction, or you have broken promises, or you have unspoken truth which need to be spoken, and it's important that you find a way with which to communicate, but you don't because you're scared. These are all messes. Anytime you have something that's an obligation that you're not following through on, clear that stuff out. You know, when I look at the 12-step program, they have this step 4 where to make a list of all persons you had harm and you or became willing to make amends, and then you make amends, except when to do so would cause harm. Okay, you make amends. So that's clearing out that emotional, mental clutter, really, and it's a good thing. We can all apply that in our lives. So it's important to understand that and look for and be honest with ourselves and say, okay, where is it in my life that I am creating these emotional, mental messes? So very, very important. And there's all kinds of aspects to it too. Nowadays, a lot of people are addicted to dopamine hits, constantly being entertained on TikTok or Instagram or Facebook. And they're constantly, I mean, just look around, go anywhere where there's a park or a mall, and you see how many young people are constantly on their phones. They're walking constantly on their phones. Those are dopamine hits. That's a mess. Those are messes. Those are areas of our lives with which we are letting them clutter our emotional states. So there's a lot of opportunity there for us to clean it up and clear the path for a higher, better mindset. So I find it fascinating, this whole idea of it being part of and an important aspect to goal setting. So, and you look at, there's 2 areas I want to talk about. Addictions, well, I kind of already talked about that, but finances is a big one. If you have credit card debt, or if you're paying off debts, financial debts, those are messes, and it's important to recognize them as such instead of trying to hide from them, because you can't hide from it because the money, the math doesn't lie. And if you clear out your debt load and you sort of get a handle on that, you're now creating a open road, so to speak. So those are messes as well, and I think they're very, very important. If you're addicted to cigarettes, or if you're addicted to cocaine or weed or booze, you got to look at all this stuff. There's no way with which to white knuckle it and get a handle on this without being mature enough, strong enough, confident enough, courageous enough to say, hey, I'm going to go do battle with my psyche here and handle these things, as painful as it is. These are messes, and it's different for everybody. We've all got our own journey that we have to travel on, but it's important to be, like I said, courageous and strong, and to look at it and say, hey, okay, where do I create the biggest messes in my life? Physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, and have a look at them all and look for opportunities, because each and every one of them is an opportunity. So yeah, and when you look at goal setting, look at your messes. That's the first place, in my opinion, to look at. Look at the messes that are in your life that you've created, or that are currently a reality and a truth. And if a mess shows up and it's not your fault, it doesn't matter. Own it. Own the freaking mess and do something about it. So there's always something you can do instead of whining, complaining, and playing victim. So anyways, I hope this has made some sense to you, and I think it's really worth looking into, and there's a lot of opportunities there. All right, thanks guys, I'm out of here.